Hello, beauties. I've got a short episode on the pod for you today because I've been hearing so much sadness and grief and from the heated rivalry community, withdrawal. And I wanted to do something that I feel like is like one of my gifts, one of the things that I do best, which is giving you all a motherfucking pep talk. So there are too many women, too many people in general who are feeling such sadness with good reason. Okay. I'm not trying to bypass that or say that that's wrong at all. So I want you to feel your feelings, and I am encouraging you to do so. And plus also, because we are in this phase of our lives and of this world in which we live, where our systems are breaking down and we're in a period of huge change, we also need to keep our joy at the forefront, because joy is the antidote to all of it. It's how we ultimately get through this upheaval. I've been thinking a lot about the film Life is Beautiful recently, but with that message in mind is how I'm coming to you for the pod today. Remember this: your chances of merely existing on this earth in this time and place are 1 in 400 trillion. It's hard to conceptualize that number, but even if you just think about the possibility of the two people on the planet who needed to meet in order for you to exist, and their lives had to intertwine in some way, maybe it was quick, maybe it was over a long period of time, in order for you to exist. And here you are, and all the generations back where you came from, all of those generations had to have made choices and created other humans in order for you to be here. So I say this simply because it's a reminder of how special you are, how your beautiful uniqueness is so important, and you are here for a reason. And if you're feeling lost, I love looking at human design for answers, for guidance, for, at the very least, things to contemplate. So I'm going to give you a few parts in your chart to look at if you're feeling like, if you're just feeling heavy, if you're simply feeling like you need a lift, you need something to mirror what is so amazing about you. And Valentine's Day is coming up. We're currently watching the Olympics at the time of this recording. And my hope is that these things that are happening in the world are helping us to see what is the best in ourselves. So first thing to look at, your sun and earth gates, where you shine and what grounds you. And when you're feeling kind of off the rails, look at that earth gate. And if you don't know what the gates mean, or you don't have a reference for that, if you DM me or send me an email, I will email you a list of those. So another place to look is at your north and south nodes, because those give you a rough idea of the trajectory of your life, right? The things that your north node is asking you to embody in order to grow in this lifetime, and the things that you came in here already probably mastering or feeling like you have a good handle on. Look at your Venus placement. This talks about your values, about love, about what's important to you. Look at your sun, moon, and rising when it comes to astrology. These are the big three, right? A great place to understand yourself and how you present to the world. but also what is at the heart of you. And I love looking at human design and astrology together and discerning different things. Like, for example, I am a Cancer moon and a Cancer sun and an Aquarius rising. And I should be highly emotional according to being a Cancer sun and a Cancer moon. However, I would say that my human design speaks a little bit more to why I don't emote as frequently or as regularly or maybe as largely as some people might expect from my astrology, because I have an unconscious channel design there. So I'm getting into some synthesis of these two systems. And if this is something that you're interested in, then I invite you to check out Working with Me one-to-one, or you can just contemplate this stuff on your own. But working with me will give you a mirror, and I will help you to discern, well, maybe this is why this is, or have you thought about this? Sometimes it's just great to have somebody to be able to mirror your genius back to you. So your sun and earth gates, your north and south nodes, your Venus, and then your sun, moon, and rising in astrology. And just sit in contemplation on these things and consider what they mean about you. Do they resonate? Do they not resonate? And how can you lean into, especially your earth placement, more when you're feeling like life is going off the rails? Okay, so that's the human design piece. The next thing I want to tell you in this pep talk is to go fucking do something that makes you joyful. And listen, I went to Zumba yesterday. You can laugh all you want. I probably would have laughed, but I will tell you that I had a smile on my face from the moment this woman started the class to the moment that it finished. I shit you not. I was joyfully grinning for the entire class. I don't remember the last time I have done that, like smiled and laughed and just felt so joyful in a long time. And I have been meaning to do this class for months, and I just hadn't gotten around to it. And so I thank Mother Nature for giving us sub-zero temperatures in Vermont. And I was like, you know what? I remember that class. I'm going to go to that class finally. And thank God I did, because as I said, it was so, so joyful. So what is something that has been on your heart that you've been considering doing, but you're always finding excuses to postpone or put it off, or, well, I shouldn't do it because it costs money, or blah, blah, blah. Whatever excuse, even if it's reasonable, whatever excuse you've been making, prioritize that this week. Make time every single day for something that pulls up the corners of your mouth. Okay? So another thing that brings me joy is getting on Threads and reading some of the comments of people who answer random ass questions that people ask. If you're not on Threads, you're missing out. Yes, I know it's a fucking meta platform, and I hate that about it. But the people on there, at least the algorithm that I have built, are incredible for the most part. And I appreciate how much I can laugh just reading the comments, because people are genius. It gives me a bit of hope about humanity, seeing the conversations that happen and the comments that come through, which for the most part are genuine and kind, and also like have this vibe of your buddy ribbing you a little bit. So not to say that it can't go south quickly. I've definitely experienced that and it sucked, but there are a lot of great things happening on that app. So just finding something that makes you smile, that makes you laugh, that lifts your heart. And if you can't think of what that might be, then I direct you back to your earth gate and see, what is it that brings you joy? And it's possible that it's something quieter. It's something more subtle than it is for me. It's just about getting some endorphins going, some dopamine going for you, and some happiness in a world that is changing so very drastically. So I was doing a workout this morning, a Peloton workout with Rebecca, and she said something like, sometimes you got to fight the old version of you in order for the new version to emerge. And I felt that, and I wanted to share it with you because it's so true, right? We have to be very intentional with changing into the kind of person that we want to be. And that takes small decisions and 1-degree pivots every single day. And when we don't make those 1-degree pivots, when we don't intentionally change the things that we don't like about ourselves or our lives, then that's when we get to age 80 and we look back and we're full of regret. Midlife is a time of so many pivots. And this is a time for us to take the reins. We've got the fire horse year this year. So take the goddamn reins and start steering this energy, and the horse within you who is ready to freaking canter into the next phase of life. Take those reins and pivot, just little tiny pivots every single day. And it's not to say that you are fighting this old version of yourself, like this version is something bad or something to be discarded. I think it's more, let's have compassion for that old version of ourselves who got us to where we are. And plus also, there are some things that maybe we don't want of that old version. And so where can we start to make concerted effort to change those things and move into the person who we want to become? So there's your short little pep talk, lovies. As always, I am wishing you the strength to let go of what no longer serves you, joy to fill your days, and the clarity to be who you came here to be.